Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Circuit of the Americas here on Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Sports Network. For the World GT Championship, Season 6 continues here in Austin, Texas. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath joining you here. And, well, Adam, the sun is out, skies are blue. The World GT Championship is hotting up as the mid-season point has passed now into the home stretch for these drivers. And it's going to be tough for them, but around this circuit, which really does pose a challenge in all levels.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going to happen today. We don't often go to COTA in many of the series that we cover on this channel. And we've got a pretty big grid as well, 24 cars set to take part. And, of course, we've got the pretty exciting free 20-minute sprint race format back after, just like we had in Twin Ring Motegi last week. So looking forward to what's going to happen today. And we are nearing pretty much the final quarter or so, or final third of the season. We've only got, after this race meeting today, 6 more race meetings to go to decide the championship. And it is, as I look at the standings, still pretty close.
Yeah, this circuit, just to take a look at it, is on your screen there. That you can see the track map, you can see what challenges it poses. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But Keith Camilleri so far is the one to beat in the World GT Championship, leading the way by 38 points over Mark Fletcher, with Challoner in third, and then Evdoka fourth, Katroz in fifth, Bibi sixth, Tabon seventh, Gafenku eighth, Rose ninth, and Harrod in 10th. And then in the Teams Championship at the moment, you've got KC Racing Esports leading the way. They're quite some way in front, in fact, nearly 300 points. Texense Fitstyle Motorsport in second, Radicals Online MOATF in third, Radicals Online Turn Racing in fourth, and then Team Mad are in fifth. They're leading the Pro-Am category as well. In the Am category, Chris Wood leads the way ahead of Mark Woodhouse, then it's Simon Underhill, and then the rest of the top 10 is made up by Blake, Gregory, Bass, Kaiser, Bun, Gray, and Blackhole. And Adam, one of the things that I see when I look at the standings is a lot of different, all the different manufacturers in there, Ferrari, Ford, and Porsche are all showing well this season.
Yeah, we were looking at the Enduro race a couple of weeks ago at Spa, and there was maybe one or two cars that were looking quicker than the rest. But since then, everybody is pretty much on level terms. We saw at Twin Ring Motegi at the race meeting last week that the Porsche was quick in some of the corners and the Beamer was good elsewhere, and of course the Ferrari's quick on the straights. And I think with the three sectors that we've got here at COTA today, that they'll all have a certain bit that will suit each other. They'll suit each other. So I think this qualifying is probably going to be one of the closest yet, as we do ride on board with our championship leader Keith Camilleri going into the tight and twisty section after the long back straight. This is where an overtaking opportunity could pose itself, or you could do a Sebastian Vettel and spin as Keith Camilleri goes through that corner, where he did so last year.
Yeah, and very tricky circuit, very rear dependent, this part of the track, and this long right-hander is definitely a challenge in any car, really, especially in these GT3 cars. You've got to turn in a bit earlier to this penultimate corner than it looks like you do. It falls away from you at the exit, and it tightens up as well. Throws it into the last corner, Camilleri. Car seems pretty compliant. Over the line he comes, first fastest lap on the board. 1:59.24 is the time. We'll see how that stacks up later on. About the circuit, Adam, built, of course, earlier on this decade. Seen some classic racing over the years, actually. In Formula One and in other series. It's an interesting track to drive. It's a good track to drive. I always find it to maybe be a little bit fiddly, but it's definitely designed with racing in mind, I think, more than anything else. Yeah,
it's up there with one of Herman Tilke's better designs, in my opinion. I still put Sepang and whatnot right at the very top. That would be a good track to have on.
Sepang's amazing.
That'd be a great track to have on this service, I'll tell you that. But yeah, this one's pretty good. There's many overtaking opportunities. Plus, of course, it's very wide, which is another track that, which is another trait that Sepang has, which lends itself to good racing. And as we look at Michael Evdoka going down the back straight, the left-hander we've got up here at the end is another good overtaking opportunity too. But having said that, there are a good few driving sections of this circuit. The first sector in particular, if you get it nailed, if the tyre pressures come up at the right time, the grip is in its element and whatever, then that first sector is an absolute joy to drive. I know you're doing some time trials at this track as well at the moment, so I'm sure you're getting to grips with that. And of course this final sector too as well, which is quite difficult to drive, and that penultimate corner can catch you out. It does invite you to go in almost too quickly, and then you end up going onto that runoff area, which on this service will give you an off track and invalidate your lap.
Yeah, I've got a little time trial lead going. We're doing the USA short we're doing the short version of this track in 2006 Renault Formula One cars, and yeah, that's a hell of a drive in this. It's a different experience in these GTE cars, of course, but one that's certainly fun, and it will allow drivers, I think, Adam, to take a few different lines through, especially that middle sector, and try to be creative with their overtaking.
I'm really intrigued to see whether the overtaking is going to happen today. Of course, the drivers may have to get a bit creative because, of course, we've got the free race format to look forward to. So 2 reverse grids. We'll get the reverse grid wheel. It's been a long time since I've been given that responsibility. We've got that to look forward to, and don't worry, it won't be 10. Those that watch a popular series on a Sunday night may know a thing or two about that. But yeah, the reverse grid should...
Woodhouse. I've just seen Woodhouse come across and go second in his class, by the way.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good segue onto the Pro-Am category, in fact, because yeah, Chris Wood leads the way in that, 31 points ahead of Mark Woodhouse, who we're looking at here. And then it's Simon Underhill third, Michael Blake fourth, and Ben Gregory in fifth. So we've got BMW, Porsche, and Ferrari all represented in the top 5 in the Pro-Am category. And I expect that to be just as close again today. Mike Gray, a reasonably comfortable advantage. He's only half a second quicker though than Mark Woodhouse, so there is still time. We're only halfway through this qualifying session for them to try and close that gap a little bit more.
Yeah, when you look at the championship as well, you've got to remember that we've only had 21 out of the 37 rounds this season, so still a long way to go. And as we've seen in many other series, Adam, over the years, and this one, getting to the midpoint in front doesn't really guarantee you anything. You've got to keep up that consistency. You've got to avoid the DNFs, and you have to make the best out of every single race meeting.
Exactly, yeah. And the next few race meetings we go to, I think, will be crucial in determining who's going to be lifting the silverware at the end of the season. You've got today at COTA, which is pretty tough. Then after that, we're off to Silverstone, the new Silverstone, I believe, Silverstone GP. And then we've got Road America Bend, which is almost like Talladega in the NASCAR playoffs, really. If you make it through there, then you have cleared a massive hurdle, really. And then we've got Barcelona, the Glen, Montreal, another really tough one. Probably the closest thing we've got to a street circuit besides Belle Isle, and then Laguna Seca to end the season. So there's many challenges still that lie ahead, including today at COTA.
Yeah, some interesting lines by some of the drivers as well. And Palmer negotiating the hairpin. Keys on an outlap of some description. This is Christian Rose we're looking at the moment.
Looks like he's on an outlap 2, doesn't it?
Porsche, yeah, looks like he's just cruising around. Most people are in the pits though at the moment, Adam. So nobody really on a lap. Fletcher coming into the pits then. The man who's second currently in the Drivers' Championship. So yeah, it might be worth trying to find maybe Christian Rose or someone like that if they are on the outlap.
Yeah, Keith Camilleri, he's just started. Well, I think looks like started a lap, but I think he's actually just. Yeah, I think he's just started a lap, but looks like he's not going to be using it to his advantage. Richard Kafenku. Here he is, and he looks like he's on another flyer, so maybe we can go on board with him as we get a ride, act shotgun, as we go on a ride of this circuit.
Here we go then. To the back end of the SS section then. Car likes to get quite light over the top of that crest, that left-hander, and you fly down the hill in through the kink. This is going to be the slipstream attempt, isn't it? Potentially, Adam, I think.
Yeah, he's got his teammates in front. Let's see.
Well orchestrated.
Oh, definitely.
Look at the advantage he's getting from it as well. And then he's going to pull off to the side, just like the pacemakers in that world record marathon attempt. the 2-hour marathon attempt, which was successful. Not a world record, of course, if you're keeping up with that. And just like that, well, unlike that, this is, well, just like that, it is a marathon, not a sprint, Adam. I'll get it right in the end.
Well, I think we'll be doing pretty well if this race lasts under 2 hours. But yeah, here we go. Richard Gafencu, a sea of green boxes at the bottom, which indicates that he is on a decent lap. 21.2 in the first sector, 26.8 in sector 2, 23.2 in sector 3. A bit like MotoGP here. We've got 4 sectors. Hopefully he hasn't picked up an off-track there, because that would have spoiled what looks like a decent lap through the final corner.
Yeah, it looks like a very smooth lap across the line then for Richard Gafencu. Does he go on to pole position? No, he doesn't, but he does improve by 0.3 of a second. 1:59.367. Nicolas Helm has also upgraded his position to P6. Lewis Bibby's just come across as well. He was in 8th position. What's he done? Has he improved? Doesn't look like he has.
Doesn't look like it, no. Barry Baird is just coming over the timing line now. Where's the Nomad Sim Racing white car going to be? It's not an improvement. It's a 2-minute 0.641. 7th place man. Here comes Hackerson, a 3-minute 2.1. So this will you'll assume this is his fast lap now as we rejoin Keith Camilleri, who is on what looks like a flying lap now in number 26.
Yeah, Hackerson looks like he's the only Ford driver out there today. I'm a bit puzzled as to why the entries for this series seem to have dwindled so much. Only 24 drivers out there. Do you think there's people? Do you think it's the track? Do you think people are sort of not really engaged with this circuit potentially?
I don't know. The entries were a bit down for the race at Twin Rim Motegi last week. I thought that was down to people not liking the circuit, really. That's my opinion anyway, but yeah, not too sure about that. We've got 24 cars though still, so that is a pretty strong field. I bet F1 wish they had their 24 cars.
That is true.
But yeah, through the penultimate corner comes our current Pro-Am pole sitter. Not anymore. Oh no, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Helm was getting me confused because he was off the track. Mike Gray coming through the final corner. Is it going to be an improvement? 2 green boxes. No, it isn't. 2-minute 2-minute.52.
Camilleri's done 1 purple sector and 2 that aren't a personal best for him. And it looks like... Is he still going for it? It's hard to tell. I don't think he is, no. I think he's allowing his teammates to get a bit of a... there's a CQR car in there. Camilleri comes across then. What's he do? 202.6. Yeah, that's not a fast lap, of course. So he'll be looking to do something a bit different this time. Probably tow his teammate around next time.
Now...
He's got the CQR car behind him.
I know that our main discipline on iRacing, which is the touring car, is a bit different to this, but we were racing at Road Atlanta last night, and in qualifying I was gaining over half a second down the back straight with a tow, and I guess in these cars, which are probably a bit more aero dependent than the touring cars, that's how crucial it might be. And we are going to tracks coming up that are going to be even more reliant on the tow as well, so it is part of this series, and if you've got more cars in your team, then you're going to be able to execute it better. I remember the Seats in the World Touring Car Championship. They had about half a dozen of them, and when it came to Monza, they were just they just killed it all the time because they were able to just have one long snake, and it was almost like a track cycling race.
Yeah, no, like a team time trial. Exactly, with just punching a hole in the air for the last man to come through. Looking at Evdoka here, who's 4th in the championship. He was leading the way, of course, a few weeks ago, but it's not been a great couple of meetings for him. He comes in through the final corner. No personal bests in any of these sectors. He did just go second. His final attempt, he's not going to make it, is he? He's not going to improve over the line. It doesn't look like so. Michael Evdoka, he got within 3/100ths of a second of Keith Camilleri, though. So that 59.2 that we saw at the very start of the session, Adam, was the lap. I believe that was the lap that's done it.
Richard Gavenku, though, he's put a green sector in sector 3, yellow sector 4. Is it going to be pole? No. 59.899. Hackerson's on a decent lap, it looks like. Green box in sector 3 for the Ford.
Rose as well, 2 green sectors for him. And he's only 1.5 tenths behind. Hackerson's going to try and get up into maybe the front 2 rows of the grid. Where does he end up? He doesn't improve, but Christian Rose is the one. He could get onto pole position. Oh, no, he couldn't.
I know.
He's obviously made a mess of the penultimate sector or something, because he did have a couple of green sectors in there. Here's Woodhouse. He's second in the class at the moment in the Pro-Am category.
Oh!
And he spins! Oh! Well, that's put paid to that then for Woodhouse.
Yeah, he just needed the timing line to be a bit closer to the exit of the final corner, and then he could have a spin and win achievement potentially. Through the final corner comes Mark Fletcher. He's currently provisionally 5th. Contradicting myself. Over the line he goes.
Yeah, the line's not that far down. He didn't have that far to go, did he? But he didn't make it. Ethan Bass, I think he's already finished his qualifying. So looks like we're going to get the grid in just a moment or two. And indeed we have here Keith Camilleri on pole then for KC Racing Esports with the lap that we saw, 159.2. And then Michael Evdoka just 0.03 of a second behind him. Rich Kafenko is 3rd with Christian Rose in 4th. Mark Fletcher 5th. Ben Hackerson in 6th. Nicholas Helm in 7th. Then Lewis Bibby in 8th. Richard Warmingham in 9th. Barry Baird 10th. Mike Gray is the leading AM driver in 11th place. Pete Harrod is in 12th. And then 13th, Brandon Tabone. 14th, Dan Kraft. Then Palmer in 15th. Mark Woodhouse in 16th. 17th for Ethan Bass. Miguel Freitas in 18th place. Then Chris Wood in 19th. 20th, Matt Bunt. 21st, Michael Blake. 22nd for Simon Underhill. 23rd for Josh Rayfield. And out the back in 24th place is Andy Shield. So, yeah, we'll see how they go. Adam, the safety car is out. And it'll be taking them through the last couple of sectors there.
There we go. Yeah, it's a half-pace lap around here.
It was a half-pace showing of the grid on the screen, wasn't it?
Helps if I was trying to find the button. There we go. Yeah, there you go.
It's all good. We can see it all on there as well.
And there it goes. Not too long then. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to ask you though quickly before the start. What do you think? Because you've seen a lot more of the last couple of seasons of this championship than I have before we started covering it again. Who would your money be on in this situation out of maybe the front 4 or 5 who are very, very close together?
I think it's probably as close as it's ever been. I'm not saying it's too close to call because that would be sitting on the fence, but KC Racing have really turned it on in recent weeks. That's why they're currently sitting top of the team standings, and why Keith Camilleri and co are doing so well. TechSense Fitstyle, though, have really come on leaps and bounds this season. Sam Fitzpatrick, one of our fellow colleagues on this channel, will be very happy that I've said that. And maybe watch out for Radicals Online as well. They've done pretty well recently, and until the Enduro at Spa, they were right in the mix. So I wouldn't rule it out, them getting their championship back on track. A few people on the YouTube comments saying, "Am I the only one that hates COTA?" I think that is a popular opinion in and amongst the people on the forums. Anyway, maybe it's just because of the off tracks. I'm not sure, but
I love racing it. I love watching races here. I think the track is brilliant for racing. I'm not a massive fan of, a huge fan of driving it, but yeah, it definitely gives good racing, and I'm sure we'll see it here in the World GT Championship. Many points of overtaking.
Yeah.
Many chances for overtaking. Sorry. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting if the teammates here can work together. KC Racing guys, most prominently, of course. 2 corners to go then, before we get this one underway. So, round 22 of Season 6 of the World GT Championship here on iRacing Esports Network is about to go green as Keith Camilleri brings us to that green. Evdoka went wide at the last corner. He's already lost second place. He's lost third place, and he's down to fourth already. And the drag up the hill then to this massively elevated hairpin at turn 1. Oh, he bounces over the curve, does Camilleri. There's a contact between Evdoka and Gafencu. Very nearly ended up in disaster, did that, Adam? Because they were 3 wide twice there in just the first few hundred meters.
And that all started by the TechSense Fitstye car of Michael Evdoka just getting wide through the final corner just when Camilleri put the power down, and that caused a little bit of confusion, and eventually it sorted itself out. A great start by Fletcher and Barry Baird as well. There's the Nomad Sim Racing car. He's gained 3 spots already. He's up to 7th. The BMW going well in the early stages. He's the top beamer as we go into the hairpin.
Looks like everyone is through without incident through the first half a lap, which is excellent, really, considering the pitfalls available to you around this circuit. Yes, there's a lot of runoff areas, but a lot of easy mistakes can be made, especially in that challenging S's section. Down the very long back straight then, which is slightly curved. Oh, and into the hairpin. It's all very close. I think Gafencu's going to take the lead away maybe from Keith Camilleri. Oh, not quite. Oh, off, and that's Matt. I couldn't
Fletcher.
See it's Fletcher, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I can't find him. There we go.
I couldn't find the number on the screen.
Just that was the kiss of death for me right there, bigging up Radicals. Sorry, Mark. And yeah, he's now towards the rear of the field.
Last.
He's stone dead last. Luckily, he's not got any damage. That's down to the vast runoff areas here at COTA, and he's going to have a pretty enjoyable 18 minutes to try and fight his way back through the field as the first lap is in the books.
Yeah, the walls that you're most likely to hit are in the last 2 corners. Seen, I think Danny Kvyat's done it before. A couple of people have spun out of the last corner as well, as we saw in qualifying. Baird coming under pressure from the TechSense BMW of Bibby. Evdoka stalking Richard Gafencu now through the SS section. The Ford of Hackerson as well, the only Ford driver in the field, Adam, is showing well for the American company here in America.
Yeah, it is. I was just going to say during the qualifying session that we haven't really seen many of the Fords out here, but Ben Hackerson doing a great job for the Blue Oval right now. Over the top of the hill they go on the exit. Very easy for the car to get away from underneath you over the top of the crest there, and yeah, Ben Hackerson not doing too shabby a job. Let's see what he can do. Oh, as Evdoka very nearly runs into the back of Gafencu in second place. Let's see if he can live with. I think
Fletcher's had another problem, you know.
The Ferrari. Oh yeah, 4 seconds off the way place now.
I wonder if he's got some damage maybe after that earlier contact. Remains to be seen as the 2 BMWs going side by side into the hairpin. That's Baird and Bibby once more. And Baird looks like he's got ahead of Lewis Bibby, or kept ahead of Lewis Bibby. Baird needs to be careful that he doesn't lose touch with that front group as well, Adam, because once you lose that slipstream, you become a little bit of a sitting duck around this circuit. Yeah,
it's pretty close, and yeah, the BMWs right now not doing too bad of a job. They are line astern pretty much, yeah, Baird and Bibby. So if you do end up going a bit wide here, I know that from doing an F1 race here a couple of days ago, you do end up suffering. These corners, most of them are pretty slow speeds, so if you can't put the power down on the exit, then you are going to lose a few crucial temps, which is important at a track that's pretty aerodynamically dependent in terms of the toe. So over the line we go to complete the second lap, and everybody putting in their personal bests, and it is still pretty much all line astern, which we do like to see.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Camilleri sets the fastest lap, 1.1 seconds clear. Here's the replay then. On board, we're looking at Fletcher again. Oh, and he takes a couple of positions. Oh, and then it just gets turned around. A little bit of netcode there. Just spinning Fletcher around. He had just got clear, Adam, but it's clear that the netcode can... Oh, what's happened to Evdoka? Evdoka's dropping down.
Oh, no.
Slow down penalty? No, he just got big damage on the left. Massive damage on the left-hand side. Looks like a contact with the wall, maybe? Coming through the S's.
He
He loses the rear. Goes around. He doesn't hit anything. But he drops way down the order now. Down to 17th place, 18th place. And that's how the last few weeks have been going for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not been going too well for Evdoka recently. We just saw in the background there as well one of the Sim-Orsal cars going around for the spin. Wheel to wheel there. That is a CQR GC car on the move, or what it was. Oh, and off goes Mark Woodhouse. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it was Matt Bunn trying to get past Ethan Bass, I think. Possibly the other way around as well.
Oh, well done.
Oh, the Brittech car is gone.
Tried to do a drift around the outside, and there just wasn't any grip out there. That's what happened for Ethan Bass. The Scotsman has got going again though, and the Brittech car has got Northern Lights Racing's Josh Rayfield not too far behind him, and Simon Underhill in the Nomad car. So if you do make a mistake here, then you get pounced upon pretty quickly as they go into the final corner again.
Yeah, he races against us on Sunday nights as well. I think he's usually in front of us, to be honest. So I think that's why I haven't seen him that much on the track. Here comes Dan Kraft going up the inside on Rich Warmingham into turn 1. That's a nice move right there. I think we're allowed to say it this time, the veteran Dan Kraft, because he's been a stalwart on our channel and on the iRacing Esports Network now for a while. Not necessarily veteran in age, but veteran in experience, Adam.
Yeah, and I hope we do put that across. Can't remember who we upset. As Dan Kraft runs a bit wide. Maybe it was a podcast I was listening to. Someone called them a veteran, and they were very offended by that. So on the brakes, into the hairpin we go. And onto the backstraight. Let's see what kind of speed these guys can get up to. Let's see where the HUD button is on this on our overlay here, and we can then try and see what kind of speed we can get up to. Oh God, is this it? Yeah, 176 kilometers an hour before getting on the brakes.
Doesn't seem like a lot. I think we'll wait for the next one on that one.
Yeah, I think we will. I think I joined it just as he was going through the braking zone. We'll keep it on Dan Kraft as he's right in the mix of a really strong battle right now. He's got Rich Warmingham behind him, as he said. Then Mike Gray not too far away. Then Ben Palmer and Brandon Tabone, all within a couple of tenths of one another. So this is probably one of the closest battles we've got on the circuit at the moment. It's still reliably close, going for third and fourth too. So some decent scraps going on, but we'll stick with this and see if Dan Kraft can get up another place and try and get by Pete Harrod.
Yeah, he could well do so. CQR stablemate. Now let's see the top speed. Well, the speed going down the main straight. It's not a short straight here, but about 240 before the hill comes. 240 is about, what? It's about 160, isn't it?
Nearabouts, I'd say. Fight for second place as the blimp moves up the field a little bit. Fight for second place is very much on. Ben Hackerson is now in third place, so the Ford has managed to get into one of the podium positions, and now he's trying to get by the man currently sat in second, Richard Gafenko, and try and take away what, as things stand, is a KC Racing Esports 1-2. Might see if I can find a replay to see how Hackerson did get into that place, because right now it's Ferrari 4, the ode to the Le Mans battles of the 1960s.
Well, Hackerson looks like he's going to have good straight line speed yet. He's going to be Gafenko's now weaving a lot. Thought you weren't really supposed to. Wasn't there a rule? Wasn't there a rule in this league that you weren't allowed to do that much weaving about? I don't know. Maybe it was a different league. I'm not sure, but trying to break the toe. It says Ben Palmer's crashed. I don't know if he's crashed necessarily, but I think he has been overtaken by Brandon Tabone.
Yeah.
I think Matt Bunn's dropping down the order as well.
He's gone off the track, that is for sure. And yeah, he's down to 23rd place. So what has befallen?
I hope that's not a Matt Spun.
And Matt Bunn, yeah, let's see if the meme is back. Oh dear, no, the engine is, something's gone wrong. Now, I'm inclined to work out what on earth's happened here. This is, oh, here we go. And even then it's in strife, so...
Just pulled off to the side.
Nothing working. Let me go back a little bit more, see if I can...
Oh, fuel, is he?
Track it back. Rewind. Here we go. So everything fine at this moment, it looks like. Here we go. So he's still got drive.
Comes on the hairpin. Just the throttle down.
And then that's it.
Oh, that's weird.
That's
like his throttle pedals stopped working or something.
That's completely unequivocal. Not too sure what happened there.
But it wasn't changing down through the gears either. Oh, it was a bit strange. Very strange.
Hopefully we'll have an update for that on the YouTube chat or something.
Bit of an odd one then for the CQR GT driver. Camilleri leads by 2.2 seconds. Here he is. And you can see on your screen in the bottom right-hand corner just how that gap has steadily grown since the start of the race, Adam, and it's about 0.3 a lap.
Yeah, it's comfortably going up. This fight for the final spot on the podium is all of a sudden hotting up.
Oh!
Atkinson runs a little bit wide on the exit. I think he was just making sure they didn't crash into the into Christian Rose that was up the inside, and into third place goes a CQR club car.
Well, Ford looks very stable in the hands of Atkinson, and yeah, it looks nice and racy out there. Must admit, some of the drivers might be, especially at the bottom of the championship, who don't really have a chance of winning anything, might be looking at this performance by Atkinson and thinking, well, I wonder if the Ford GT is a car that I might want to take up for the rest of the season, because you can change car in this series. There is quite a large penalty of points, I think, but you've got nothing to fight for. Maybe it could be worth it.
See if we can get it back. Yeah, the gap is within half a second. Remember, oh, who was it?
I think it's drivers' championship points only, though, isn't it? They get taken away, I believe.
I think so. I'm trying to remember who used to drive the Ford, the old Ford, back in the day without fail.
It was, well, Rusty Laidler used to drive it, and Dennis Melcher used to drive it as well.
Yeah. So it's picked up a bit of a hardcore following, a bit like the Kia Optima in that kind of respect before that got cast aside once the arrival of the Audi TCR car arrived.
Well, so, I think because we decided to choose the Ferrari, didn't we, for Le Mans when we did Le Mans, and
yep.
I think we just didn't ever go back to the Ford once we'd chosen the Ferrari because we were happy with it. Oh, crash! It's Fletcher again. Oh dear. What an absolutely diabolical race for Mark Fletcher, the man who's second in the Drivers' Championship. Well, he might not be after this. Well, he might just be, actually, because Evdoka's had an absolute nightmare, hasn't he? But Camilleri's going to have a massive lead at the end of this race. He's going through the fast section here at the S's, hits the sausage curb, and it's a one-way ticket to the wall for Fletcher. But sadly, there's no refunds on that one. He can't get that money back. Ben Atkinson's got third place back though, Adam, and that's indisputable there.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was down into the left hand at the end of the back straight. We'll get a replay of that in a moment. But yeah, he's back into the podium positions, and the Ford continuing to look pretty strong here. We are past the halfway point now. We are approaching the final quarter or so of the race. Miguel Freitas.
Have a little look at the battle for 11th, by the way. I've just noticed it on the screen.
There you go.
It looks like it could be rather tasty. Michael Gray, Brandon Tabone, Ben Palmer, Michael Evdoka. That is the battle for P11, and haven't really had any airtime, Adam, so I figured we could let them have a bit of the glory there. Oh my word!
Little flash of the lights there as Ben Palmer completely gets onto the boot lid of
holding the button at this point.
Pretty much. That's what I'd be doing. I think I managed to assign it. Oh yeah. Oh,
there goes
off.
There goes Gray. So Mike Gray off, and that allowed Tabone through and Palmer. Evdoka just behind. I'm amazed Evdoka's not all over the back of this group. I was just wondering if he's still suffering off that damage that he sustained earlier on in the race. It's giving him a few problems out there.
Yeah, we could speculate maybe the tyres were overheated because of the tyre model after that spin that he had in the S's, and that might be affecting the performance. But either way, he's currently sat in 14th. It's not totally the end of the world for him because, of course, we do have the
terrible.
Yeah, we've got the reverse grid to look. He's got the reverse grid to look forward to. If it's a small one, he could be within the top 2 rows or top 3 rows for race 2. So we're looking forward to that. As here comes Tabone and Palmer.
Yeah, let's see then. Ben Palmer in the BMW. The Sim Sports Racing. Tabone, kind of a fresh air defence, wasn't it, in the end? But he's got away with it. Oh, and he snuck up the inside. Not easy to do when you're in the car as big as the Beamer, but he's done it.
Oh, he's picked his pocket there.
Yeah, he left the door wide open. He just waltzes in, does Ben Palmer. Takes what he wants there. Yeah, Tabone really should have blocked the inside, I think, Adam, on that occasion. You know, it would have been impossible for Palmer that way.
Yeah, and as a result, the BMW is now through into 11th place. 4 places gained for Palmer. Top 10.
It's been a good week for BMW, Adam.
Oh, it has, yeah. God, I was talking to someone last night saying that it almost rivaled Brazil 2008. That final British touring car race at Brands Hatch. Well, yeah,
I'll have to watch that one.
BMW.
I think watch it back.
BMW on top. Oh, there's a wiggle there for the Ferrari.
Palmer really struggled to get the power down coming out of the hairpin as well. Tabone's right back with him. I wonder if maybe he can pick his pocket and take back his stolen goods. Who knows?
See if he can redeem them.
Stolen goods being 11th place.
Well, the carrot is getting dangled in front of him, and the black and yellow KC Racing Esports car is really hoping that he can take a bite out of it. Oh, over the top of the hill, and it'd be a big bite because the BMW is quite a big car, and even though it's quite big, it is still looking quite leery on some of the quick corners.
Massive wiggle on through there, did Palmer. It's funny because ever since Palmer's actually passed Tabone, he suddenly looks like he can't drive the car.
And he's got a good exit here, has Tabone. Car 222, trying to get past just the single digit number 2.
Man from Malta. Let's see what he can do in terms of an offence now. We've seen the defence. It wasn't great, but the offence looks like it's very effective indeed. Oh. Goes up the inside, and he gets hit by the BMW. And now he's got to spin the car around quickly. I think that's unfortunate because I think that was a really, really well done overtake, Adam. I think he's a bit hard done by there, is Brandon Tabone.
Just want to see
we'll see it again.
I just want to see if he was losing control by the time that this happened.
Yeah, had he already lost the rear though?
Oh,
maybe. Can we go on board with Can we go on board with Palmer maybe? That's good. Yeah, he'd already lost the car. Wow. I didn't quite see that. I think he was going to lose the place to Palmer anyway. I think the nudge by Palmer actually did condemn him to the next 2 places, but not a lot really Ben could do there, it didn't look like.
Yeah, did a neat pirouette and got going again in the end.
Just locked the rears up, Adam, and that was the issue.
Yeah. It was a good move at that point, especially with... It was pretty courageous, I'll give him that, because of course Palmer was moving across to the left-hand side to try and chicken him out of a move up the inside. He still went for it and decided...
Palmer, it did give him the space.
Yeah.
Now, Keith Camilleri is on the final lap.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Potentially.
50 seconds to go.
I think it probably will be the final lap. It's going to be close. It is nearly 50 seconds for the final sector of this course. It's going to be pretty close. He's going to be tight. So is this going to be the final lap for Keith Camilleri to take victory in race 1? Round 22 of season 6 of the World GT Championship here on the iRacing Esports Network. Is this going to be the checkered flag for Camilleri? I think it probably will be. Oh, I don't know, though. It's going to be close. Yes, it is. Checkered flag is out. That's absolutely what Keith Camilleri would want to see as he comes out of the final corner and he takes the adulation of the crowd. He takes the checkered flag. And Richard Gafenko in second, Ben Hackerson third. The little bit of the bubbly in the Ford GT. Well done to him. And Baby Rose, Baby Hill, Baird, Kraft, Warmingham and Harrod. That's the top 10. Seen Gray come across. Oh, still got 12th in the end, did Mike Gray.
Takes the honours in the Pro-Am category as well. Chris Wood comes home in second in that class. And Simon Underhill completes the podium in the Pro-Am category for Nomad Sim Racing Black.
So he gets some bubbly as well. Michael Blake, Immortal, P6. And that... Is everyone else out? I think they are.
I think so.
So Michael Blake finishing in 21st place is actually the last classified finisher, Adam. And, well, as we go towards the reverse grid wheel here, you know, he's probably going to, in likelihood, it's going to be pretty much a full reverse grid. So we'll see what goes on here. But the likes of Camilleri, Gafenko and Hackerson will be hoping, obviously, for a small one.
Yeah, and this series has been known in the past to get quite big ones, so we'll have to wait and see what gets dished out here. But yeah, the race results are on the screen now. It is another 1-2 for KC Racing Esports. They're going to be delighted with that. Keith Camilleri wins with Richie Gafenko in second. Ben Hackerson, a great job by the Ford to get into third place. It might not be the most fancied car on the field, judging by what everyone's running, but it has done a fantastic job to get in amongst the top three. Christian Rose in fourth, Lewis Bibby fifth, Nicholas Helm, the Scandinavian, in sixth, the Swede. Barry Baird in seventh, then Dan Kraft in eighth for top 10 for Dan. Ninth, Rich Warmingham, and 10th for Pete Howard. Ben Palmer finishes in 11th, 12th for Mike Gray, top Pro-Am as well. 13th for Michael Evdoka, then Chris Wood in 14th, second of the AMs. Then Brandon Tabone in 15th, Miguel Freitas 16th. And then Simon Underhill, Ethan Bass in 18th place. 19th for Mark Woodhouse, 20th for Mark Fletcher. There he is, down towards the rear. And then it's Michael Blake, and then the cars that had issues during the race. Josh Rayfield, 5 laps down. Matt Bunn, something befell him. And Andy Scheel, 10 laps down. Didn't actually see what happened to Andy. Might be worth seeing if I can...
Andy Scheel, I don't think he started.
I don't think he started. There we go. Josh Rayfield, though, 5 laps down. I was just going to see if we could track down what happened to him. Here we go. Here's a replay. This is going into the penultimate corner, car 96. Into the final corner. Oh! Goes behind the cameras. Hello. And then not too sure what happened after that. Yeah. Anyway.
That was a bit odd. Oh, well.
Yeah, finished 5 laps down in the end, did Josh. Finished 7th in the Pro-Am category, 22nd overall. Right then, before we go to a quick break, we've of course got to do the reverse grid for race 2, which I'm sure everybody is waiting for. Hello everybody that's just jumped onto the stream, that's completed the race. Well done to you all. And we'll get the grid up now, and we will find out who's going to be on pole for the second race of the day here. Could be a potentially defining number. With just a few weeks to go in the championship, it could be defining not just in the race meeting, but in terms of the championship. So
at least give people a springboard going into the last few meetings. And for someone like Keith Camilleri, well, with the difference that he needs to extend his lead even further.
All right, reverse grid wheel just loading up now. Brief pause.
Could get a gift maybe for Mike Fletcher in 20th.
Well, maybe,
he needs one.
That didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Let's try again. There we go. There we go, it's on your screens, and let's spin it and find out who's going to be on pole for race 2. Here we go. It was going to be 16, but it is landed on 20.
So Mark Fletcher does get pole position for race 2.
How about
Unbelievable.
that?
Well, that's a good... That shows that it's important to carry on, finish the race, because anything could happen. Your meeting could be turned around in an instant, and for the man who was leading the championship also a couple of weeks ago, well, he's just got a bit of a lifeline in the standings after that poor round this time. So we'll see how he gets on and the rest of them behind when we come back in the World GT Championship here on the iRacing Esports Network at the other side of the commercial break. We'll see you soon.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the World GT Championship here, presented by Apex Racing TV, Adam Bath and Andrew Woodhouse. With you, series brought to you by Sim Sports Simulation Racing Equipment as well. Right, Adam, race 1. It was very competitive. We had a couple of shocks, a couple of accidents for some of the championship contenders, actually. What do you see happening in this one?
I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with the guys towards the rear. It's a 20-car reverse grid, and I wonder if this will be the opportunity for Mark Fletcher to take his chance now that he's at the front of the grid after his not-so-great race 1. So we'll see.
I feel like he needs to win.
Yeah.
If you're the championship contender and you get reversed onto pole position, and there's no one else really around you to challenge too hard, well, you wouldn't think anyway, no disrespect to the other drivers there, but I think you have to pull away, you have to make it count.
See, yeah, it's the World GT equivalent of a 6-pointer, this.
Well, exactly, it's a 6-pointer for Fletcher. I think for Evdoka as well, it's important, starting in 8th place. I feel like it's very important for him, and for the likes of Lewis Bibby and Brandon Tabone to get good points as well. Tabone starting in 6th. The 2 corners to go. Pace car is going to pull into the pit lane, and then we're going to be underway for round 23 of 37 this season. Camilleri's win, of course, in race 1 extended his championship lead quite substantially, and he goes, and Fletcher now goes, and that's exactly the start that the Radicals Online driver would have wanted. Green light is on. We are racing again at COTA. And so Woodhouse covering the inside, but Ethan Bass just says, well, I thought he was just going to say, well, stuff this, I'm just going to go all the way around the outside, but Woodhouse keeps the position. He did get a bit leery on the exit of turn 1. Through the S's they come at him, and this is where sometimes in the reverse grid races it can get a little bit hairy, but because it is a smaller grid to this season than what we've seen in the past, seems like everybody's giving the space required.
Yeah, those sausage curbs can be pretty lethal if you go 2x2 through some of these
Look
corners.
at that.
And yeah, that's
Underhill.
Yeah, past Ethan Bass and into 3rd position. A great start by the Nomad Sim Racing black car. Now up to the hairpin. There's a Ferrari on the move as well. There's a few Ferraris on the move.
Somebody really going for it.
That's 222. That's Brandon Tabone up the inside. Forces one of the Team Mad BMWs off. He comes back on just in front of Evdoka.
Great start for, well, great move by Tabone. Starting 6th, that got him up to 5th. And that in the background looks like it's Ben Palmer in the SimSport BMW. Oh, there he is, look. On the Ferrari's almost in our face there. And the Ferrari is Michael Evdoka. Gray versus Palmer on the infield. This double apex corner and then this tight double apex going the other way, Adam. Very, very difficult section to master. You always feel like you're either maybe going too fast or too slow through there.
Yeah, I'm never too sure what the best way to get through that is, really. Maybe take an inside line and throughout, or maybe try really wide. This is when we need Alex Simpson here to help us.
Overtakes in there, haven't we, as well?
Yeah, we have
and
seen
some botched overtakes in Formula 1. I remember there was a bit of a pile up there one time.
Sutton and a Sauber, maybe. Was that one of them?
Yeah.
Singspar, yeah. Onto the front straight we go.
2013?
Oh no, slow down penalty.
Oh, slow down. That's Brandon Tabone.
Not what he would have wanted, especially on the opening lap, because it's going to be a hefty whack of a penalty anyway.
He might end up in last place here. Has he cleared it? It looks like he has actually cleared it now. Ethan Bass is up to 4th. It's confusing because it says 3rd, but it is 3rd in.
There we go.
3rd in class for Bass. And now he's looking to stay ahead of Evdoka, who's looking to pass.
Let's have a look then. They haven't touched the grass yet, but will
See
they?
if Evdoka can show his class.
Oh,
but there's too much mass of the Ferrari to slow it down in time. Bass is back through. He stays fourth. Evdoka losing a lot of time there.
Wheel to wheel down the back straight we go. Then this is Mike Gray versus Chris Wood. This is XVRV Team Mad. See who comes out on top here. BMW versus Ferrari. Watch out, they might almost go into the back of Ben Palmer. They don't. Oh,
we almost saw a big convergence there. And
yeah.
coming from two completely different lines. Oh. This is what we said earlier, isn't it? Oh, spin! It's Dan Kraft been. Looks like he's been turned around. Woodhouse is going very slowly as well. And he's spun. There he is.
Got many incidents going on in this infield section. We highlighted it at the beginning of the programme. Here is what happened to Dan Kraft then. This is on the exit of turn 12, the left-hander. He's got CQR GT in front.
So he nudges into the CQR car.
Oh,
and he loses it again. And I think he tried to avoid his team, his stablemate there. And let's have a look and see what happened to Woodhouse.
Let's hope I get it then. Here we go.
So Woodhouse into the double right-hander. Holds the inside. Looks like that's
170.
The BMW.
That was Simon Underhill. And that was
Underhill up into second now then because of that. Yeah.
With a bump and run. Don't know what the stewards will say about that. I was not that I'm ranting or anything, not that I'm bitter. I was getting penalties for a lot of stuff less than that. I was even getting accused of things I hadn't even done. But yeah, Mark Fletcher continues to lead. He is, as we were talking about when the gridding process was taking place, he is making the most of every opportunity that he's got here, and right now he's got a 4.6 second lead.
For those who don't know, we race in the BSRTC on. Oh, look at Evdoka having a look up the inside of Bass. Bass gets a bit twitchy on the exit. And then it's take two for Michael Evdoka. He's got the whole straight to go, though. Sadly, he doesn't really have a slipstream. He doesn't really have a run. If anything, the BMW might be picking up some side drafts. Into the braking area. Can he nail it this time? Bass tries to pinch him down to the apex. He gets... I don't know if he got hit or whether he just lost the car. But Bass goes around. Through goes the BMW of Baird. Barry Baird. In the Nomad Sim Racing white car. He's now up into P6 and he'll be very happy with that. 8 positions gained for Barry Baird. Fair play to him. Chris Wood got held up in that one as well.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, Adam received a protest about 5 minutes after the race meeting finished last night from a driver who will remain nameless. More for his sake than anything else. And Adam checks the replay. He goes, "What's happened here?" Looks at it, and it's not even him that's done it. Someone else crashed into him.
Interesting facts on the YouTube chat. I did know. I think I knew this. Ben Palmer races in the Mini Challenge UK. Is up the inside goes.
Yeah, he does.
The Team Mad Beamer. Oh,
he does. He used to race the Renault Clio Cup as well.
Don't know if that's continuing next year. You know, from what I listened to it briefly on ITV yesterday, and it looked like they were making out that was the last year. That was the last year of the championship. Not too sure.
Isn't the Mini? Isn't it going to be replaced with the Mini possibly?
Might be. That'd be good.
We'll have to look into that, but I do think it might be. Yeah, I'll do some research while you talk.
Brandon Tabone then is flashing away at Ethan Bass. Not in that way, but going up into the hairpin. He's got sorry.
Not like Colin McRae, no.
Oh my God! You read that chat?
We can't say this on it.
Oh,
yeah, really? Can we?
Rich Warmingham's got off. That's the hairpin going onto the back straight. He might have collided with Richard Gafenko. I'll have to wait and see on this.
All I will say is that read or listen to Jason Plato's book is all we're saying.
Here we go. That is Gafenko up the inside. Lock up, and when you see the lock up, you realise that oh no, this is too late. I'm not going to be able to back out of this. And yeah, Rich Warmingham gets turned around. He's going to be at the back of the field. He is behind Michael Blake, 4 seconds behind Michael Blake, who sits there, 19th place overall. But
so I do have the information. The Mini Challenge is going to replace the Clio Cup on the BTCC Sport Package. The Clio Cup is going to it looks like it's going to be supporting British GTs instead.
Right.
So there you go.
Ash Sutton was a graduate at the Renault Clio Cup.
Yeah, he was. He had some great battling in that championship. I remember that. It was in about 2015, wasn't it?
Yeah, first year was 2016. Won the Jack Sears Trophy in 2016 in the BTCC.
The likes of was it Ash Hand and Ant Waterneals, was it?
Yeah, was Files in that at that point?
Maybe.
Was Josh Cook in it at that point as well? Not too sure.
No, Cook I think was already in
the BTC. Yeah.
I think he was. Yeah. Anyway, I think he was already driving Frame G. Was Cook, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
But here's Simon Underhill. Currently looking at him. Started at 4th on the grid. And yeah, now into 2nd position. Well, I'll tell you what, Adam. Just in honour mostly of yourself as he tries to get the cut back there. Cars that started in the top 10 that are currently there now. We haven't done this for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still 8 of them. So they've done very well so far to remain around where they started, and the quote-unquote really fast guys at the who started near the back, not really making much of a headway at the moment. Keith Camilleri's gained 6 places from his 20th position where he started, of course, because he won race 1. Richie Gafencu's up to 15th place. Nicholas Hjelm was up to 11th. Bibby's up to 9th. Bairdy's up to 6th. So out of the ones who started near the back, yeah, there's a few that have gone forward, but it's been steady progress more than anything, hasn't it? As this rages on between Bass and Hjelm.
Yeah,
Hjelm in the Ferrari. Same team as Baird, by the way, but
different car, yeah.
Different car, which always annoys me. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because it looks silly. But yeah, I always like the same team to run the same car. I don't make the rules. Ethan Bass, he's on the grass, trying to pass. I know we've done that pun once already, but it was worth it. Now what's he going to do? Is he going to take the big wide outside line? Oh, he might have opened the door up, you know. Oh, crash! Dan Kraft! Right into the Brittech car, who's taken a bit of a beating so far today. Now, I was going to say that he was going to end up, car on the right hand side was going to end up getting boxed in a little bit there because of the fact that Hjelm moved back onto the racing line, Adam.
Well, let's have a look and see what
that might have been the cause of it, to be honest.
Oh, maybe it could be a convergence there, as just like earlier. Oh, crash!
What's happened to Ben Hagerson?
Something's happened. Oh, they're off for the S's.
Rose looks like Rose is off too.
Now, what on earth has unfolded between these guys? Let's have another look at the replay.
I'm pretty sure that they were on the same piece of tarmac together.
On board with Hackerson then. He is behind at this point. Gets a good run. Ooh,
no. That's clumsy. Ben.
I think Ben knows that. That's why he slows down to wait for...
Oh, yeah. It's not like Ben Hackerson to make that sort of daft accident, really.
Yeah, no, risk.
He's let him through, look.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, meanwhile,
I think we should just stick a camera on Ethan Bass because he always seems to be in the thick of the action here. Next up, it's Keith Camilleri, the race on winner.
He was on a lot of the broadcast last night as well. Seems to be that wherever Ethan Bass is, that's where the action is.
And this is now
Camilleri and Gafencu trying to work together to gain places. Adam, it's not. They've not really flown through the field so far, have they?
Oh no, they've gained 10 places between them. 6 for Keith, 4 for Gafencu. And that's solid progress. They'll be hoping that it's a very small reverse grid for race 3. If it's 16, then they'll be sitting pretty. Someone's gone off there. That was Chris Word, wasn't it? It looked like he'd just come back onto the circuit. Very close for second place, by the way. Here is Underhill versus Evdoka, who had...
nice block by the BMW.
Yeah. And this is a good opportunity for Evdoka because, of course, he started at the front in race 1, had a race to forget, really, and now he wants to get back on the podium. Oh, clips the curb there. Maybe a little bit of damage resulted from that.
Maybe so. I have hit sausage curbs before on the service and ended up with damage to the floor and damage to the suspension.
Great thing about this part of the circuit on the F1 game is that the sausage curbs, even though you can see them, they don't actually do anything. So you can be a bit more liberal with the cutting a little bit.
Have them bash you around a little bit. Yeah, they don't seem to damage anything. Oh, big Larry slide by Underhill. If Doken right in the slipstream. Look at the BMW. It's almost engulfing us as we get closer to it. Oh, is he going? Going for the dummy.
On the inside he goes. Ferrari versus BMW, and it looks like as long as he can make the corner, the TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport car's got the place, but he does run a little bit wide.
He's made it just. He's on the inside. Can Underhill... the Underhill did hit Woodhouse here, didn't he, on this corner earlier on? Good move by Avdoka in the end, though. He forced him into the mistake. Kafenko and Camilleri look like they've traded places actually out there on the circuit.
The great thing about that complex of corners is it does give the car that's just been overtaken an opportunity to try and get the place back.
Oh, I think we need to look at around 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th.
There we go. This is
really hotting up. I noticed Lewis Bibby was on the prowl.
Bibby, Palmer and Helm.
Chris Wood just in front of them as well in the Team Mad Kart.
Up to the top of the hill we go then. We haven't seen too many overtakes here today. We did see the crash obviously with Bass and Kraft going into turn 1.
I think one thing that helps in F1 there, of course, is the DRS zone, which does allow a little bit more, does allow the cars to get a little bit closer. Yeah, we've seen a couple of sends, but not many. Look at the incident points on the screen there.
It's down as off tracks, it looks like, but yeah.
Oh, that's just the amount of off tracks.
Now we did say at the beginning of the show this is a track that does lend itself to off tracks, so that explains a lot.
Oh, Bibby's pushing. Bibby's pushing him. Sorry, Palmer's pushing Bibby. Sorry, that's what I meant. I was trying to work out why that did. I knew it didn't make sense in my head, but I was trying to work out why. The brain and the mouth aren't communicating well together today. Oh! And there's Helm. Helm trying to surprise Palmer, and all he's done is end up going into a half spin.
He's damaged his car a little bit as well, it looks like.
We saw earlier on in the season for Helm, Adam, that he is prone to, shall we say, a full send. This is a long way back. That is a long, long way back. In fairness, he nearly made it, but he still made contact. Still had a spin. Oi.
Might have been 5 can lengths, I think. That from how far bad that was. That's another pro.
Oh dear, no one else will understand.
We've completed 8 laps of the second race of the day here in the World GT Championship. There's 3.5 minutes to go, and it is just over a 2-minute lap, so we haven't got too long to go here before the checker flag is flown.
Everything now has to be measured in can lengths.
I'm trying to work out how we got that, because R and N are nowhere near each other on the keyboard. But anyway, here is Downcraft, who that little incident with Ethan Bass earlier hasn't hindered him at all. He is wanting to carry on, and the Beamer's looking pretty lively over the big yellow sausage curbs on the inside of the circuit. It looks like he's picked up a little bit of damage because of that on the front right, but now he wants a spot in the top 10, and Nicholas Helm is right in front of him. This is the closest battle we've got on the circuit now between Bibby, Palmer, Helm and Downcraft in that CQR Evolution car.
Do me a favour, bring the circuit information up for me for 1 second.
Sure. Here we go.
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Let's have a look at the weather actually while we've got it here up on the screen for you. 25 degrees ambient temperature. Track temperature is looking at 44 degrees. Partly cloudy. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm guessing for race 3 it will be later on in the day when the sun is setting. Michael Blake has gone off apparently. Said he crashed. I wonder if he maybe just got on the brakes a bit too hard going into the left-hander at the end of the straight.
So I can reveal, Adam, this circuit is precisely 47,043 cam lengths long.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't use your comeback in that protest. I should have done. Out of the final corner then.
Sorry, I think we've covered. I think if anybody's listening to this, they might get quite angry. So I think we've covered it.
Bobby Charles revealing that turn 1 is completely blind if you're on a single monitor. I can imagine.
Yeah, it is. I used to race a single monitor here. It is, yeah.
Fortunately, I don't think the VSR TCR is going to COTA, so I don't think I'll have to factor that into the equation.
So as I said to you earlier on, I was doing F1 2019 today. I was doing TCAM as you know, the perfect sim racer here. It's almost blind in TCAM as well, and that's a good foot or so higher than the driver actually sees. So yeah, and it is quite bad. So you really need to just know where your braking point is, I think, that, and just hit and hope a little bit. And I think sometimes that's why we see crashes at the top of the hill, like we saw earlier on. Just because I think the drivers are half just trying to scrabble to find where the apex is.
Well, I was having something similar at turn 2 at Road Atlanta last night. Almost, I was just having to. I was getting just a tiny bit of information, but yeah, the right-hander before the S's, I was really having to guess whereabouts to turn in there.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I missed it a couple of times because I was following other people. Here comes Camilleri. He's going to try and have a go on Pete Harrod.
What is the
Pete
final
Harrod's
lap?
experience, though, it's going to be quite difficult to do that. Here comes Fletcher then, Adam. He's going to win the race.
Yeah, we spoke about the importance of him doing so, and he started on the pole, never looked back really from then on. And here he comes into the final corner to take the checkered flag.
Ben Palmer's crashed.
Yeah.
Ben Palmer has had a problem, but here comes Mark Fletcher. He had to win this race, you feel, for his championship chances. And he has indeed done so.
Michael Evdoka comes second. Third on the podium will be Simon Underhill, and he is our top Pro-Am driver as well. He takes the honours there. Meanwhile... and this is Kraft, Harrod, Camilleri, Palmer and Kapoku, yeah.
Oh no, the lines reached the line already. Warmingham and Woodhouse coming across 17th and 16th.
Right, this might explain something here. Penultimate corner for Palmer. Is that really an off track? I'm not expecting him to go off here. Looks like he must have. No, that is his off track. Who was the person that lost places? It was Palmer.
Well, he did lose some places, but maybe he was just. Was it in the middle sector?
Oh god, a lot happened actually. A lot happened within the space of a couple seconds. Here's a replay.
I wonder if it went down as crashed because they ended up going so slowly. Potentially as a result of.
Oh my god.
Oh well, hello.
That'll wake you up.
Well, that'll be it then. He only lost 2 or 3 places due to that. 4 places, yeah. 5, maybe.
Car literally wanted to spin him out the other side of the circuit.
Braking.
Maybe it is from the cockpit. You can just about see the wheel at the bottom of your screen.
Oh.
Well held, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, it was pointing the right way eventually. So yeah, not the end for Palmer that he would have wanted. But still 13th place is not exactly where he would have envisaged finishing. But Mark Fletcher, Adam, he started on pole, was due to the reverse grid, but he still had to take the race home, and he did indeed.
Yeah, and he finished in P1 in the end, car 111. Perfect symmetry there for him. Michael Evdoka then Michael Evdoka finishes in second, I should say, 8.9 seconds behind. That's a bit of a coincidence. 9.89 in the car number there. Simon Underhill wins the Pro-Am category and finishes on the podium as well, so a good effort there. In fact, a good effort by Underhill, Gray and Chris Wood, because they all were starting towards the front and they were able to hold their own against some of the pros. Barry Baird finishes in 4th. We mentioned Gray there. He finished in 5th overall. Then Brandon Tabone in 6th, and then Chris Wood 7th. Lewis Bibby in 8th in the end. Then Nicholas Helm, Dan Crafts completing the top 10. Pete Howard 11th. Then it's Keith Camilleri, the Race 1 winner, finishing in 12th place. Ben Palmer 13th. Richard Kafenku 14th. Then it's Ethan Bass in 15th. He had a target on his car all of race 2, really. Then Mark Woodhouse 26th. Then Rich Warmingham, Michael Blake in 18th place. And then as we tick it on, 19th for Ben Hackison, 20th for Christian Rose, and the only car that failed to finish was Miguel Freitas. And once again, he might have been one of those drivers that didn't take the start, actually. Just seeing if there is a reason what happened to him, actually. And I don't think I can see one. So, yeah, I'm assuming he didn't take the start.
There? Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, that's the story of how race 2 finished, and now we've just got one more reverse grid wheel spin to do today.
Yeah, and round 24 is going to be upon us. Who's going to be the one who's going to be receiving a present in the form of pole position? Christian Rose and Ben Hackison will be hoping that it is indeed them after not a particularly great race for them. Same for Palmer, Gafenku. They'd like to be near the front. And of course, the likes of Fletcher will just be hoping for as small a one as it can be.
Let's see what it can be then. Yeah, let's find out. Let's spin it. It's almost as small as it could be. It's the second smallest. It is 16.
16 is Mark Woodhouse, who's going to go into pole position then for Team Mad. He's going to be happy about that. Ethan Bass going to be starting alongside him. Rich Kafenku is going to be 3rd. Ben Palmer is going to be 4th, and Keith Camilleri in 5th. So a very competitive, very strong field is going to take to the 3rd race of the evening here on the iRacing Esports Network. So join us at the other side of the break then, here for round 24 in the World GT Championship.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Circuit of the Americas with the World GT Championship here on the iRacing Esports Network. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath bringing you race 3 of the evening, round 24 of the championship, or out of 37. We've had 2 great races so far today. We've had a lot of action. We've had some incidents. We've had some big ramifications for the championship. But Adam Bath, we are set for race 3, and it's, you know, it could throw up some big surprises once again.
Yeah, as the sun begins to set around the rolling hills of Austin, Texas here, we have got a very exciting grid. It's a Pro-Am 1-2. Ethan Bass, who was right in the thick of the action at the start of race, or throughout race 2, is starting on second on the grid, but it's Mark Woodhouse that's on pole. Then it's Gafenko and Palmer. Ben Palmer was also pretty interesting to watch during race 2. Keith Camilleri, the race 1 winner, starting in 5th, and then it's Pete Harrow, Dan Kraft, Nicholas Helm, Lewis Bibby, Chris Wood, Brandon Tabone, and then Mike Gray completing the top 12. And the rest of the grid is Barry Baird, Simon Underhill, Michael Evdoka, Mark Fletcher, Rich Warming and Michael Blake, Ben Hackerson, Christian Rose, and Miguel Freitas, who looks like he's starting. There he is. He's somewhere looking from that blimp. So Team Ad do have their representative out on the track. So as we go through the final sector for the final time tonight on the warm-up lap, looking forward to seeing what's going to unfold, because Woodhouse and Bass, that has got the makings of a tasty duel at the front.
Indeed it has. Almost Woodhouse and Bath, which would also be a tasty duel at the front.
We haven't had that really
one day, maybe. There's very little danger of us both getting on the front row, though, is there, really?
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Woodhouse, I think he's got something to prove. He was knocked off the track, wasn't he, in race 2. Bass seemed to just get bullied about a bit. It wasn't really that he was slow, but he just kept getting shuffled back time after time. So yeah, we'll see how this is going to go.
Here we go then.
Around the final corner. And that seems to be the preferred time to hit it.
Oh.
Woodhouse just does that. Oh my goodness. Gafenko and Palmer. They almost took each other out before the start line, Adam.
Yeah, very, very close between them, and it looks like it
And
might not
maybe
be over
again.
yet. Palmer's looking at
Here
the
comes-
inside.
Here comes Ben Palmer into the hairpin. And the Ferrari gets a good exit. Oh, you can't go through there. Oh, off on the inside is... surely that's going to be slow down penalty, is it not?
Oh, I thought it was. He was all 4 wheels off the track there, but looks like
Oh, there it goes. Gray and
Tabone.
Tabone, I think, yeah.
We saw that from our static camera throughout the complex there, and yeah, both off the XVR car went, and so too the KC Racing Esports car. Ben Palmer wasting no time. He's really rolling his sleeves up here in the massive BMW, trying to get by Bass.
Well, we've seen in the history of this championship that race 3 is traditionally where some of the excrement hits the ceiling fan. And I think we might be seeing an example of that. Drivers losing control on the opening lap, not giving each other enough room. But they know, these guys know, Adam, in the top 5 or so, this is a great opportunity to take a win. And especially with the likes of, Gafenko, Camilleri, and that bearing down on them, and then Ben Palmer is bearing down on the back of the field now, because that's where he's going to end up.
Yeah, facing the whole of the field. He got up on that sausage curve on the inside. I thought he was going to roll over for a brief moment, but fortunately for him, the car remained on all fours, and this is all kicking off going through the final sector.
Look at the BMW of Harrod trying to go around the outside of Richard Gafenko in the middle sector, and he's through by the fast right-hander.
Is he going to go back up the inside into the penultimate corner? I tell you what, I did think about it. Did Richard Gafenko? Oh wow!
Not a lot of braking zone there though, Adam, to do that. Last corner there is. Here he comes.
Oh.
Block pass. Oh, almost a quarter panel.
Now I did that yesterday, and unfortunately a few of the drivers were lucky, thankfully for them they got out of it, but that nearly was disaster there.
Where's Chris Wood going to go? And meanwhile, Gafenko goes right to the inside. That means Wood's going to get hung out to dry. Yes, he is. And off goes Harrod. He's back on. He hasn't lost anything. Ferrari's still marauding. Gafenko behind. Helm likewise.
So in the opening lap then, it's Mark Woodhouse with a 1.4 second lead. Then it's Ethan Bass in second, who's trying to keep the race one winner, Keith Camilleri, at arm's length, and is doing so well for the time being. The gap's 0.4 of a second between them. And then it's Camilleri, Bibby, Harrod, Gafenku, Helm, Evdoka and Wood, as you can see all there.
He'll be wishing his arms were a little bit longer though, won't he, Ethan Bass at the moment? Because
yeah, about a second long.
Camilleri is extremely quick. And surely he'll have a slipstream down the back straight here as Helm and Evdoka get up close and personal. That's very close indeed. Let's have a look at second place, Adam. Let's see just exactly how close that's going to be. Not massively. Oh, Bass locks up.
To be continued, there we go. On the
and
inside.
Also to be continued between Evdoka and the others, but Camilleri through into second place. In the end, it was just a slight mistake from Ethan Bass. That's enough for Camilleri, so he'll be going. Oh! Evdoka! Oh, and he's been hammered by the Ferrari. And another one. And a Ford this time.
That was Hackerson.
Oh, man. Couldn't avoid him after he was spun round. Seemed to lock the rears again, or just lose rear grip, one or the other. Here's Gray and Rose. And Tabone, Gray and Tabone went off on the opening lap, didn't they? In the end. Oh, Atkinson coming into the pits.
You'd already probably got a meatball flag by that point anyway.
Slamming it to the wall.
Probably wouldn't have done much. And Evdoka looks like he's picked up the same as well, so that's a shame for them. Their evening's almost certainly over, even though they have got a fast repair. Yeah. The rest of the field are going to be long gone.
They're going to score some points though, still, if they do take that fast repair and carry on. Oh, Ethan Bass, big problems for him. Oh! People almost running into him.
Something big has befallen.
It's a slowdown, isn't it?
Ethan Bass. How will he have picked this up is the question.
Well, he's by probably doing what he did earlier on, did he?
Let's have a look.
Or did he get nudged across the hairpin, which is another possibility. Let's have a look at this. Who's on the inside?
Just going to drag it a bit more forward. So everything's fine at this point.
So where is Ethan Bass, Adam? Oh, there he is.
There you go. He's in front of us.
So I wonder if Bibby's going to have a go up the inside into the hairpin, you know.
So he goes through there. Something doesn't seem right at this point, does it?
Oh, he's just not, like... Is he... I don't know, has he knocked the pit limiter or something?
Either way, he's down to...
pressed the limiter?
He's back down to 11th place now. Looks like he's back on the pace, but... Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there.
Who knows? What we do know is that Rich Gafenku is battling with Pete Harrod after being promoted into 5th place. Harrod, who made a great start at him and up to 4th, and he did get 3rd, I think, momentarily. This race is proven to be very, very close indeed. Camilleri 9/10 quicker than the leader then, Mark Woodhouse.
There's an idea for you of the gap progression. It was 1.9 at one point. It's now less than a second, and it's even less than 8/10. It's already been cut by a quarter within the space of just a few corners here. It's been another 2/10 have been taken out within the space of another few corners. It is being gobbled into chunk by chunk by Keith Camilleri here.
Absolutely flying then is the KC Racing Esports driver.
You can see the sun up there. Well, yeah.
It definitely is. Beautiful evening.
You sure it's not the black hole from Fortnite?
Yes. Yeah, that's the other talking point of the day. As Camilleri then, the black Ferrari coming towards it. Looks like we're descending into the black hole here. Here comes Camilleri then up the inside. Is he going to go for the block pass? I think he did. Woodhouse might get a cutback here. Might get the cutback. Maybe not. But his best bet now, I think, is to just stay right with Keith Camilleri. Still got 1.5 seconds to Bibby. So if the Ferrari can drag him along, maybe. Who knows? Bass is having a look up the inside. It's brave.
Oh, nice.
Locking the front all the way through, but a great move by Ethan Bass. It's only a great move, however, Adam, if you can keep it. And that's the task. Oh, Baird's going to go around the outside and the long right-hander. Or is he?
Oof.
No, he isn't. Great move by Ethan Bass.
Oh, he took a lot of the inside there, Ethan. I'd be amazed if he got away without a slowdown penalty for that. But we'll wait and see. Through the final corner he goes. He's still got the Nomad car behind him.
Something happened to Ben Palmer?
Yeah, there's a slowdown, I think.
No, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Very close between Mark, but this is a battle and a half. You mentioned it. Pete Harrod, Helm, Fletcher, Woods, Underhill, Warmingham. They're all at it.
Oh, yeah.
No reverse grid on offer for them after this one. This is the final race of the night, so it's all about the points.
Well, there's only 15 seconds in between the top 17 drivers here, so yeah, it's all very, very closely fought at the moment. Go up in the iRacing blimp, and you can see it kind of flattens out the undulations of the circuit, doesn't it, when you're up this high? But some major
Howard runs a bit wide.
elevation changes here.
Right, this is an opportunity for us to see the straight line speed difference between the BMW and the Ferrari. Granted, Helm will have...
Well, he's going to go for it, isn't he? Because he's
Yeah.
about 6 cam lengths behind.
Is he
And
going to throw the can?
Oh,
Oh,
of course he is. He's never going to make it, surely. Oh, he did. But he's still around the outside, is Harrod. Helm just absolutely sending it like a missile.
that's yeah, that can has well and truly been used. And through goes Helm and up into 5th place. Mark Fletcher through as well. So that is the Ferrari up into 6th and 10 places gained for the race 2 winner.
I'll give Helm something. You know, he definitely is. Definitely not half-hearted, is he?
No.
Sort of Laguna Seca, how combative he can be.
Likes to shake it up a bit.
Well, he is Swedish, so he's probably not afraid of picking up a few meatballs.
Ah. Trying to think of something to do with IKEA. As down the front straight we go. Here comes Fletcher.
Mark Fletcher then. Race 2 winner into the hairpin on Helm. He gets through. Nicely done by him. Sensible defending by Helm. Camilleri by 3.2 now. Woodhouse has now been passed by Lewis Bibby.
Yeah.
So Bibby up to 2nd place. Gafenko up to 4th. Fletcher 5th. Helm in 6th. Harrod, Wood, Underhill, and Warmingham is the top 10.
Here's a replay of how Lewis Bibby got into 2nd place. Woodhouse directly in front. The Porsche doing well up to this point. And through goes the Texense Fitstyle Motorsport car.
Doesn't fight it too hard, Woodhouse. Probably realises that his best bet is to just run the fastest race he can, not lose too much time, because these are the sort of guys who he's going to be worried about, I think, eventually, Adam, is this pack here, 3rd to 10th, because at the moment he is in, 5th down to 10th, because I think, yeah, you don't want this lot, all of them catching you. Christian Rose has crashed, Adam, on this lap.
Oh, and Dan Kraft has crashed. Oh, and he's done. He's jumped to the pits. So
It's the end of him. What's happened?
Right, so here's Christian Rose's incident first in chronological order here. Is he going to hit a curb?
Sausage curb?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll do that.
Oh.
And Dan Kraft.
Bit of air for the CQR car. And then CQR Evolution.
Oh, hit the inside curb.
That's just a silly little spin, isn't it? But it sounds like he was quite a way away from everyone else anyway. There's Woodhouse defending hard from Gafenko then, who we've seen can be extremely aggressive, Adam, when it comes to the overtaking moves.
As you can see as well, that it's not the be-all and end-all for Mark Woodhouse. He is currently sat 3rd overall, but of course he is leading the Pro-Am Category 2. but a podium in the overall class would be fantastic for him. And right now he's got Richard Kafencu behind him, and he's got to keep him behind him for another 7 or so minutes around here. So that's probably about 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah, it is the battle for third. Woodhouse leading the AM category by 5 places and about 5 seconds too. Kafencu goes very deep into the final corner. Can he parlay that though into an overtaking move into the hairpin? I wonder if Woodhouse might try and defend this one. I'm not sure.
To the inside, and through he goes. Maybe Woodhouse is thinking.
I got confused with the 2 hairpins.
Yeah, maybe Woodhouse is thinking a bit ahead. Maybe he thinks that as long as I can stay nearabouts to Kafencu, if him and Bibby start fighting, then I might be able to close back in and profit if anything takes place between them.
And also, there's only 6.5 minutes left of the race. It's 1.5 seconds clear of Fletcher. He's 3 seconds clear of Helm. And then this battle, which now includes Baird and Wood.
B. Harris right at the front of this. Nicholas Helmer's checked out a little bit. He's managed to gain a second on them, so he's running off with his 6th place right now. Harrod, though, the BMW remains in 7th, and right now he is currently the 2nd highest BMW. Lewis Bibby holds the mantle for being top BMW right now with 2nd place. Not many Porsches being raced tonight, that must be said. Woodhouse being one of them, Christian Rose being the other. Close battle here. This is Palmer and Freitas.
Yeah, we got Freitas, Portuguese driver, looking to get one over on Ben Palmer, but it seemed to be happening for him fully there.
Just going to say, speaking of Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo, 700th goal scored tonight.
Wow. England winning 6-0. Very interesting night of football. And Fletcher. That's the racing equivalent of a tap-in, is that, Adam? I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah, up the inside. Yeah, Woodhouse was almost letting him have it, but he did make him work a little bit hard for that.
But again, though, Adam, I think he is just trying to hang on to that top 5. And he knows as well he's winning the AM category, so all he has to do, he's winning this race in the AM category, he just needs to finish ahead of Underhill to get more points for his class. Oh my word, Palmer and Bass. Oh, there's no... Oh, bang! Right in the wheel.
I think this is the ultimate battle, isn't it? Yeah.
Palmer's going to be lucky if he doesn't have suspension damage after that.
Round the outside.
Oh, this lot are going to end up in a heap.
He's back through. Palmer surely will throw it up the inside into the penultimate corner. Watch out for the...
Yeah. Still wheel to wheel. Look at Freitas.
Oh. For the final corner.
Freitas in the 3rd BMW.
Yeah, this is probably the battle that we've been waiting for. Palmer was right
on the white line.
Yeah.
Is Palmer. I wonder if Freitas is going to have a big dive up the inside when these two inevitably collide at the apex or at the exit of the corner.
Oh, he got onto the AstroTurf.
Big wiggle for Bass. Some great drivers in this group as well. And they're down the lower reaches of the field. Kafencu has caught Lewis Bibby for P2. Looks like he's going through, Adam.
Oh yeah, up the inside into the hairpin is going to be a very wide line, and should be a good exit for Bibby. Fantastic exit.
Oh yeah, he hooked that one up really well. Really, really good grip. Now they are wheel to wheel. What a shot that is.
Up the inside is through. He's done it.
He's going to go for another cut back, Kafencu. Kafencu's going to now try and cut him back and go around the outside of the double right-hander. He has indeed.
Here comes Fletcher.
Is he going to block off the apex? Yes, he is. Maybe he's going to try to go around the outside. We're going to see something akin to Raikkonen and Verstappen, maybe. Fletcher! Oh, my word, he nearly clobbers Bibby. No, you can't really have a dive into this penultimate corner, but certainly can into the last corner. They're all staying in a line.
Good.
All
Good
fairly
exit.
well behaved at this point, Adam.
Yeah, we've got. I
think this is the final lap.
Keith Camilleri has crossed the line a bit of a while ago, so we might squeeze one more in. Not too sure. Oh, line we go.
Very close.
Gonna get the cut back, Bibby.
All or nothing for these guys now in second place, though, isn't it?
God, we can't leave this chopper shot. It's just it's a
Brilliant.
fantastic scrap going on between these guys right now. Now into the S's, we're going to see a great shot of this from the helicopter.
Great precision by the three of them. Not running into any of those sausage curbs. They can certainly ruin your day.
Looks like Gafenku's just starting to slowly edge away. Great exit there by Gafenku, and he's managed to add another tenth to his advantage. That's 6 tenths now.
Nobody's ever fully away, though, until they negotiated the back straight here at COTA. We know that Bibby's strong out of here, and he's got it down to 4.5 tenths. And he will get the slipstream off of the Ferrari. There's very little that Gafenku can do about it. But is he going to get close enough? I don't think he is. He's not, and he sensibly, Lewis Bibby, elects not to try and go through into... Oh my goodness, what's this? It's Harrod on the hill. Hjelm on the hill, and Hjelm, their teammates, and they're hitting each other.
There was an awful lot of nomad here. There's black
Baird
and white.
is in there as well.
Into
Let's have a look at Camilleri, Adam. 2 corners to go for him. Is he going to... I think
He should make it.
there'll be another lap. Yeah, there will be.
Very close nonetheless. Yeah, 9 seconds
So-
left. He's crossing the line now.
So they'll all be hoping to put enough fuel in it as well.
Oh, we saw at Road Atlanta last week. Cars running out of... yesterday cars running out of fuel.
You came around the last 2 corners, and there were just about 3 or 4 cars just strewn.
Yeah, just parked up. Yeah, it was remarkable. Don't know if we're going to see the same here.
Give you those few spots after starting from the pit lane. There's Underhill going to the inside, late defence by Harrod. Oh, just about early enough to cover it off. Not any real issues. Hjelm and Warmingham having a good scrap as well. BMW versus Ferrari in that one.
Oh,
Still 6 tenths between Bibby and Gafenku. I think he's made a mistake as Bibby in this S's section, because Gafenku's got it to over a sec. I wonder if he's struggling for fuel, you know. He's got no speeds.
here comes the Ferrari then. We're expecting
He hasn't
to
got any
see it.
speed, Adam. I wonder if Bibby's having to save fuel.
Well, if he is, then he's got a perfect toe off Fletcher, so that'll help him ease off a little bit.
I don't know if that's true or not, but just the way he came off of that corner in the middle sector just looked like he was struggling. I think there is a car out of fuel. I think Christian Rhodes potentially might be out of fuel.
I think Freitas might be. Michael Blake's just gone by.
Yeah, I think it's going to catch a lot of people out. You know, the overcast conditions, cooler conditions, the lap times are faster. You are going to use more fuel, and Fletcher's trying to use enough fuel now to get past Bibby. I think Bibby's certainly out of fuel. He's that slow on this lap. Here comes Keith Camilleri. Does he have enough left?
There's
2 corners
yeah.
to go. It should be absolutely fine. There's the stricken Porsche of Rose. But round the final corner comes Keith Camilleri. He's going to take his 2nd win of the evening here at Circuit of the Americas. Richard Gafenku gets across in 2nd place. Bibby is going to make it in 3rd, ahead of Fletcher. Woodhouse in 5th. But is there anybody who's... Oh, Neil nearly loses it.
Wow.
Is there anyone who's not made it?
Doka looks like he's okay.
Tabone, I think. Oh, yeah, that's Blake and Freitas. We thought Freitas was out of fuel, and he's pushing Blake.
Trying everything. They're about maybe a kilometre away from... Oh, boy, I'm making that up. About
Yeah, maybe.
A kilometre away from home. Fortunately for them, this is downhill, so this will help.
Well, and also, fortunately for them, there's no drivers behind them now.
This is small. They're both in the same stable. Simmortal, Smile Time, and Team Mad. They both are under the same stable, but they're two different teams.
BMW unveil radical new 8-wheeled concept for Season 7 of the World GT Championship. Testing reveals it's not quite as fast as the 4-wheeled edition.
And across the line.
Well done to them for getting across. Two different teams as well, helping each other out in that one.
Right.
Enjoyed that race, Adam. That was very, very exciting. I liked it.
Yeah. I think the way the grid was set helped. It definitely helped Keith Camilleri. He won race 1 and he's won race 3, and that's when he threw the finishing order. He wins. Richard Kofenko finishes in second. It's deja vu. It's the top 2 from race 1, finishing as the top 2 in race 3. Lewis Bibby finishes third, half a second ahead of Mark Fletcher, who was really battling towards the end there. We saw him locking up going into the double apex left-hander. Mark Woodhouse finishes 5th and wins the Pro-Am category as well. I reckon he'll be happy with that. Pete Harrod in 6th, then Simon Underhill second highest dam in 7th. Then it's Richard Warmingham, Barry Baird, Chris Wood finishing in 10th. Nicholas Helm in 11th place in the end. Not too sure why he dropped that far down. Last time we checked, he was in 6th. Might need to have a look at a replay of that. Ethan Bass finishes in 12th. Fantastic duel with Ben Palmer. Mike Gray finishes 13th. Tabone 14th. Michael Evdoka in 15th. Then it's Michael Blake and Miguel Freitas. Ben Palmer finished 1 lap down in the end. I think we might need to have a look at a replay of that and see what on earth happened to the SimSports Racing USA driver. 19th place for Christian Rose. We saw him parked up at the side of the road. Looked like he was out of juice. Dan Kraft had a spin at the end of the back straight and called it a day after that. And Ben Hackison picked up a meatball and didn't return after he made a visit to the pits. Right, replay. This is what happened to Ben Palmer.
Well, let's see then.
Doesn't look like fuel. I'll watch it again.
Unless he realised he wouldn't make it.
Oh.
It is fuel.
Yeah.
I think he realised he just wouldn't make it, potentially.
Oh god, have we went too far? Let's try again. Sorry. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely out of fuel for him. Nicholas Helm I'm intrigued by because he was in 6th place at one point. Just seeing if there was a thing that explained why. Or maybe I've missed something. Either way. Not too sure, basically, is the explanation for Nicholas Helm. But yeah, that's how it all finished. We do have an interview person waiting for us, but I'm not too sure who it is the answer. So, can take a punt on it.
Well, there were a few punts in the around tonight.
Is it Ben Palmer? Because oh no, fuel pump failed. Ben Palmer says on the YouTube chat. They're on the YouTube
there
chat.
You go.
Sorry. Let's have a go. See who it is. Proper phone in this. And we're joined now with...
Yeah, we don't actually know who it is.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Oh, you haven't. Oh, okay. It's Ethan.
Oh, Ethan, hello.
Ethan, hello.
God. We saw plenty of you on the broadcast today,
It was like a bad radio breakfast show phone in then.
Yeah. where the producer doesn't tell you who the person phoning in is. Yeah.
I thought I was like, is that my cue?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Ethan, welcome. You've been on the broadcast quite a bit tonight because you've been right in the thick of the action. In particular, the final lap or the final race battle you had with Ben Palmer, two BMWs really going at it there.
Yeah, that was good fun actually. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of this racetrack, but it's more fun following at least.
Yeah, we noticed at the beginning of the show that this definitely isn't the most favourite of tracks with the field. For people that aren't in the know, just what are the reasons behind that?
It's been a track I've just never been able to learn properly ever since I came back to iRacing about just late last November. I've never a fan of it, and unfortunately, when you do officials, it's a bit of a death match.
Oh, I can imagine that first sector probably being a one major flashpoint.
Yeah, on the first lap, I'm amazed there wasn't actually so much carnage on the first lap tonight. Kind of people were far more sensible, which is I should expect because it's not been too bad when you're up the front.
So I'm guessing BritTech will be pretty happy when the series goes to Silverstone next week then.
I don't know. Silverstone's unfortunately not a favourite of mine either. I don't
God.
like the new layout.
All right.
That's fine. I'll learn it. Okay,
Well,
I'm guessing you do the BSRTCR right on the. Do you do that on the Sunday?
yeah, he was all.
Yeah.
You were all over the broadcast last night. I watched it back this morning, and it was like you had a lot of fun at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, Road Atlanta's a favourite of mine. Again, I benefit from the reverse grid, but because of ad pace, so I was having fun.
Only reason why I brought that up.
Just to clear it up, it is bass, isn't it? Not bass.
Yeah, we got the message.
I forgot to tell the people who were doing
I was just checking.
The only reason why I brought that series up was because I think we were at the Classic Silverstone a couple weeks ago. Yeah, well. Oh, on that note, then, Ethan, what was the highlight of the evening for you? Race 3 obviously looks pretty entertaining. Race 2 as well. You were slow at one point. Was that in race 3? What was the reason behind that? Was it just some massive slowdown that you picked up?
Yeah, I got two slowdowns in race 2 actually. I cut the penultimate corner just by accident, kind of thing. After I let Keith through in it, so I got like a 2-second slowdown. I had to back it off right into the S's before I got a penalty.
Oh right, well, that's another issue with this. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I don't like this track. But we'll stop COTA bashing for a bit. And before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Well, I do. I have to say, thanks to Chris Daines and everyone from BritTech for taking me on and letting me drive an actual team, because it's far more fun than as an independent. You can actually run with people and get some practice and get some setups from people. Because if I haven't got speed, but I'm amazing at making an actual setup.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hired.
Yeah. I know we're in need.
I read far too much about setup stuff. It's just my kind of thing. I've been doing this for over a decade now. I cut my teeth in sim racing back in Verso 7 days for front drive and stuff, which is why I love that Audi.
Same as Adam.
Oh yeah, Race 07 was ground zero for me. Or I might say Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix 3 for that.
Oh, I've played Grand Prix 1.
Oh
well, I have as well. This is why we're much older. It sounds like, but no, Grand Prix 1 was great. That was the first good racing game I played. It's amazing how many little things were in that still hold up today. But yeah, we could talk about that. We could talk about that all night, Ethan. But sadly, we haven't got that much time. But thank you very much for joining us and for the first time, and we hope that you join us again soon.
Yep, I've no problem. Once we get past Silverstone, the rest of the tracks are like, oh, I love these racetracks, especially Road America. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Road America. That was BSRTCR a couple of weeks ago for that as well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't do the full season in that.
Oh right, okay.
Oh, well, we'll hope to see you on the track on Sunday anyway, if you're at Barcelona.
Yep, hopefully. I mean, this is on Mondays, so it's easier for me to get time away. Sundays is a bit kind of, it comes and goes.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, we hope to see you soon anyway. But yeah, thanks for joining us, mate.
Yep, no, it's good fun. Thanks to everyone who contributes to running this. It was good fun. Like I said, it's kind of series has been kind of. It's a shame we haven't got so many drivers on the field, but at least the drivers we've got are pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully, when we go to Silverstone next week, maybe they'll like that and they'll come back. Not too sure, but yeah. Thanks a lot, Ethan, and yeah, hopefully we'll speak to you again next week.
Okay, see you later.
Ethan Bass there, Adam, and yeah, he had a pretty interesting race meeting, but in the end, I think he'll just be happy that he's survived most of it.
Yeah, he was right in the thick of the action, picked up a few slowdown penalties, but once Silverstone's out the way next week, I think he'll be a lot happier. I'm surprised he doesn't get too frustrated whenever he's racing with us anyway on the Sunday. But
well, like I said, I think he's usually ahead of us, so I think we'll need to rectify that at some point. But yeah, that just about does it for our broadcast tonight on the iRacing Esports Network. Thank you for everybody who's joined us here again for the World GT Championship. We're always glad that you can join us. So from myself, Andrew Woodhouse, and from Adam Bath, who's also been doing the cameras tonight, it's goodbye from us. It's goodbye from the World GT Championship, and we'll see you guys for Silverstone next time. See ya.